Hey everyone! So today we are jumping into one of the all-time great thought experiments in philosophy. It comes from Robert Nozick, way back in 1974, but trust me, it's more relevant now than ever. It's a question that really gets to the core of what we think a good life actually is.
So, let's just get right to it. I'm asking you, right now, would you plug in? Just, what's your gut reaction? Yes or no? It seems like such a simple question, but believe me, the answer unpacks a whole lot about what we value.
Okay, so what is this thing we're talking about? Nozick wants you to picture this. Imagine some super brilliant neuroscientists have built a machine that can do something just unbelievable.
This machine, it can literally give you any experience you could possibly want. You want the feeling of climbing Mount Everest? Done. The pure joy of falling in love for the first time? You got it. The satisfaction of writing an incredible symphony? It's all yours, piped directly into your brain.
And here's the thing. From your point of view, while you're in there, it's all completely 100% real. You'd feel the paper, you'd smell the old books in the library, you'd feel that spark of inspiration, everything. It's a flawless simulation.
Right, because here's the catch, and it's a big one. In the real world, you're actually just floating. You're unconscious in a tank full of liquid with a bunch of electrodes hooked up to your brain. You aren't actually doing any of those things. You're just passively receiving perfect, pre-programmed feelings. And that setup presents us with what you might call the perfect golden cage. It offers you everything you could ever want, but the price you pay is reality itself. So this is the choice, right? On one side, you've got the real world. You know, it's messy, there's risk, there's struggle, you might fail, it takes effort. But on the other side, you've got the machine. Guaranteed pleasure, zero suffering, no work required. It's basically the ultimate win without having to do any of the work. Now, hold on. Before we all just shout, "No way," it's actually worth thinking about the other side of this. Let's really consider the argument for plugging in. I mean, the allure of guaranteed happiness? That's pretty strong.
You know, if you're a hedonist, and that's just someone who believes the whole point of life is to maximize pleasure and minimize pain, then the machine isn't a trick. It's the solution. I mean, by that definition, it is literally the best possible life you could ever have. The answer has to be yes. And this brings up a really interesting point. Is our hesitation just a bias? A kind of status quo bias? Maybe we're only attached to reality because, well, it's all we've ever known. Some people argue that if the goal is happiness, who cares where it comes from? Why should we care about the plumbing as long as the faucet is pouring out pure joy?
And yet, most of us, our gut instinct is still to say no. And that powerful, immediate refusal is what Nozick was so interested in. He thought it tells us something really deep about what we value, and he broke it down into 3 big reasons.
So Nozick gives us these 3 pillars to explain why we'd refuse. It's not just about how we feel inside. It's about what we actually do, who we actually are, and the world we actually live in. So let's break these down.
First up, agency. See, we don't just want the feeling of writing a great novel. We want to actually write it. We want to be the person making it happen, the one causing an effect in the world. Plugging in means giving all that up. You just become a spectator in your own life. The source material calls it the suicide of the agent. Pretty heavy, right?
Okay, pillar number 2 is our character. I mean, think about it. Who are you inside that tank? You can feel brave, sure, but you can't be brave because there's no actual danger to face. You can feel kind, but you can't be kind because you're not actually helping anyone. Character isn't just a feeling, it's something that's forged when you push up against a reality that pushes back.
And finally, the 3rd reason is, well, we just want reality. It seems we value contact with a world that's real, that exists outside of our own heads. A simulated world, no matter how perfect it is, can feel kind of hollow. We want to be part of something that wasn't just tailor-made for us.
What's so wild is that this thought experiment from 1974 is not just some dusty old philosophical puzzle anymore. I mean, every time you perfectly curate your social media feed or get lost in a VR game or hear about the metaverse, you're kind of brushing up against the edges of Nozick's machine.
And of course, you can't talk about this without talking about the Matrix. Remember the character Cypher? He makes the other choice. He wants to be plugged back in. Why? Because the fake steak tastes delicious, and for him, that's all that matters. His whole argument is ignorance is bliss. That's the ultimate defense of the machine. So really, what this all boils down to is a battle between two big ideas. On one side, you have internalism. That's the idea that value is all in your head. If it feels good, it is good. End of story. On the other side is externalism, which says, no, value exists out there, in the real world. Reality itself has worth.
And that leads us to this really interesting, kind of paradoxical idea. Is it possible that a life of constant, perfect pleasure would actually be meaningless? Maybe the very thing that gives life its depth and its flavor is the one thing the machine promises to get rid of: struggle.
I absolutely love this metaphor for it. A life of pure pleasure is kind of like a painting that's just one single flat, bright color. Yeah, it's pleasant to look at, I guess, but it's not very deep, is it? We seem to be drawn to the sublime, to a life that has shadows and contrast, grit and texture. Success just doesn't feel as sweet without the risk of failure. The light isn't as beautiful without the dark.
So, when we wrap this all up, what does saying no to the machine really tell us about ourselves? Well, it suggests that a flourishing human life is about so much more than just feeling good. It seems we value truth, even a difficult truth, over a comfortable lie. We value a real, sometimes messy, connection with other people over a perfect, simulated one. And we value the actual achievement, the effort, the journey itself, way more than just being handed the end result.
In the end, saying no to the experience machine, it's like a vote for the dignity of the human struggle. It's an embrace of the whole messy, beautiful, terrible, wonderful package of life. It tells us we don't just want to feel happy, we want to actually truly live.
But I want to leave you with this final thought. Nozick asked this question almost 50 years ago. As our own technology gets better and better at creating these perfect, custom-made realities for us, do you think our answer is going to stay the same? It's a question we might all have to answer for real sooner than we think.